Hi, my name is Kristen Deibel, and as you will recall, I'm a claims adjuster with State Farm Insurance. I'm talking to you today about auto accidents, and if you were in one, would you know what to do? Well, Diane Heller, author of Crash Course, a self-healing guide to auto accidents, wrote, "One of the most dangerous things you will do today is drive a car." According to National Center for Statistics and Analysis, there's over 6 million auto accidents and over 3 million people injured every year in the United States. Why? Well, the three main reasons are DUI, speeding, and driver distraction. Cell phones, radios, dogs, kids. So let's say you crashed. Now what? Well, what you need to do is gather information. There's several parties that you need to look at for this information, but the first one I want to talk about is the other vehicles involved. You need to get the driver information from all other vehicles. You need to get personal information, name, address, and phone number. And then also vehicle information, the make and model, the license plate, and the vehicle identification number or VIN number from all vehicles involved. And get the insurance information, the company name, the agent's name, and the policy number. Now, the second group that you need to gather information from is the police department. Get the officer's name, find out where he or she is from, the city police department, the county police department, or the highway patrol, and get the police report number. Also, look for witnesses. Look for somebody who did see the accident and can step forward. Get their name, address, and phone number, and get an idea of their statement, and so you can find out if it's going to be applicable and useful in helping you with your claim. Tow truck information, that's another important group. If your vehicle is not drivable and it is towed away from the scene, obviously you do need to get the name and address of the tow company and find out exactly which location your vehicle is being towed to. Now, scene information is also very important. Take photos if you can. Use your cell phone, use a camera that you might have in your car. Even some people carry a disposable camera in their glove box for just this scenario. Document, look around, document the signs, traffic signals, lanes, and landmarks. That's also very important. Facts of loss, you're going to want to write down the accident exactly as you remember it while it's fresh in your mind. Accidents are traumatic, and you're going to replay it over and over, and you need to get the facts written down as soon as you possibly can, again, while they're fresh in your mind and accurate. Now, I want to talk a little bit more about property damage to your vehicle. And once you file the claim, the first thing that your claims adjuster is going to do is investigate the claim. They weren't there, so they need to get statements from you, statements from the other parties involved, statements from the witnesses, look at the police report, and evaluate the claim for liability. Now, they will either find you 100% liable, find another party 100% liable, or even comparative negligence, meaning that a portion will be applied to you and a portion can be applied to the other car, or if there's several cars, it can be split among the many vehicles. Now, you can go through your own insurance if you are liable, or if liability is disputed. Go through the other insurance carrier if they accept 100% liability right off the bat. In this scenario, you don't even need to file a claim through your own insurance unless you are injured, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Now, let's talk about the deductible. On average, people carry a $250 to $500 collision deductible. You are responsible for this deductible in almost every scenario, so be prepared. If you are liable, you're going to have your car repaired through your own insurance carrier. Now, if the car is repairable, they're going to go ahead and pay the repair bill, but they're going to not pay the deductible amount. You will owe that to the body shop, the $250 or $500. If your vehicle's totaled and they give you a total loss settlement, again, that deductible amount will be subtracted off your total loss settlement. So you're responsible unless the other insurance carrier accepts 100% and pays to repair your vehicle. Now, what I mean by that is if they accept liability, you go through them, they'll pay for everything, you're not out a dime, which is the way it should be if you're not liable. But if the other insurance carrier does accept liability, but you still, for safety reasons, maybe want to go through your own insurance policy, that's fine. You have to pay your deductible up front. Then your insurance carrier will go back to that at-fault party, and they will collect back any money that they pay for your vehicle, and they'll collect your deductible back and refund that back directly to you. That's called subrogation. Now, Let's talk a little bit about injuries and physical damage. So if you're injured, hopefully it's minor, but in that scenario, you need to keep track of your injuries right after the accident, how you feel in the days afterwards, keep track of your injuries, your treatment, your prescriptions, and the doctors and facilities that you treat with. If you are injured seriously, meaning you're taken away in an ambulance from the accident scene, then typically the attending police officer will follow up with you at the hospital and give you some of the information that you should have been able to gather at the scene. And you can use that to file your claim with your insurance company. Now, there's a state-specific policy coverage, medical coverage, that we all have on our auto policies. You can either have PIP, personal injury protection, or MPC, medical payments coverage. Every state, unfortunately, is different, but every state has a law regarding medical coverage in an auto policy. I'll give you an example from Utah because that's the state that I cover. So in Utah, it's a no-fault PIP state, which means if you're injured in an auto accident, it absolutely does not matter who's at fault. Your medical bills will go back to your auto policy. Everybody has a minimum of $3,000 of coverage. So you turn those medical bills into your own insurance company. They'll pay them. Again, if you're at fault, then they're paid out of your policy and against your policy. If you're not at fault, they will, once you're done treating, go back to the at-fault insurance carrier, subrogate, and get your money back. Now, once you cross a $3,000 threshold, again in the state of Utah, then you qualify for a bodily injury or pain and suffering settlement from the at-fault carrier. In Colorado, for instance, though, you have MPC. The coverage isn't quite as good as PIP, but you get $1 bodily injury settlements. So if you're injured in an auto accident in Colorado, whether it's minor or serious, you automatically get a bodily injury settlement. You just need to talk to your own insurance carrier about that. So, in conclusion, if you are in an auto accident, what do? Call the police, gather information, file the claim, keep track of your injuries, and mostly make sure to check your policy coverage so you and your loved ones and your property are protected. Thank you.